What is going on, FA Nation? Jon Impemba here with James Grande. Welcome into the Fantasy Alarm MLB DFS Playbook Preview Show. We're here for the Tuesday 10-game DraftKings main slate. There is a 4-game 6:35 DraftKings slate. So if you guys are playing in that, you know to hit us in the Discord with any questions. We'll help you get those lineups set. But we're focusing, of course, on the DraftKings main slate. Turning the page from Monday, which was a slight disaster, depending on which roster decisions you made. Chase Burns didn't get out of the first inning. Got one out. Matt McLean, early error. And he might have been tipping pitchers. There was a point where they were just swinging and timing up and expecting everything that was going on there. Young pitchers sometimes, have those issues, but he got absolutely lit up. Even the Reds scored 4 runs off Crochet. Scherzer actually looked okay. The offensive players we liked did fairly well, but that slate's still going on. So we're going to focus here on Tuesday, where we have Yamamoto and DeGrom up over $10,000. We got Freddie Peralta and Matthew Boyd in the 9K range. We also have some rain symbols in the forecast up the East Coast. Tampa Bay, Atlanta, usual summer thunderstorms probably going to be in the area there. And then once again in the Northeast, New York and Boston, some rain as we head into the holiday weekend. So we'll check out the severity there more as we get closer to the 5 p.m. live show for all of you. James, Yamamoto at home versus the White Sox. That is your $10,800 pitcher. What could possibly go wrong?
I'm not going to answer that. I refuse to answer it.
Probably fighting my cat. She has me clawed in the side of my shirt at the moment here. Hold on, there we go. Okay, we're good.
That's a tough look.
That might have just been a hole in my shirt. I'm not going to lie to you. It didn't feel great. All right, yeah, so Yamamoto.
I'm not answering. I know, but I'm not answering the question that you raised.
Okay.
I won't answer it that way. I won't. I refuse. I'm sorry, listener. John is putting bad juju on Yoshinobu Yamamoto, and I'm not here for it.
I am absolutely not doing such a thing. I'm just asking,
John practices witchcraft. You guys don't know his personal life, but he does do witchcraft.
It was not a great day for John's card collection on Monday. So we're just moving forward. Yamamoto home 10-8, DeGrom home Baltimore 10-3 is your top 2 guys there. The entire world, as they were on Crochet, who still had 8 strikeouts and counting. Is he still in the game? I don't know.
Weiser's in the game.
Weiser's in the game. So he still had the strikeouts he wanted. Just gave up 4 runs. Yamamoto, and he was 50% rostered, 40% rostered on a 6-game slate. There's a 10-game slate. I'm still anticipating Yamamoto to be a 30+% rostered pitcher, probably. More in cash games.
Yeah. Especially typically we would see Freddie Peralta in that range get ownership. Not going to happen with the Mets.
Well, the Mets haven't been great.
Well, Juan Soto exists in the world. He has been great. It's funny how that's happened, huh? Soto was bad. They were great. Soto's great. They were bad.
Yeah.
Controversy brewing. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Yes, there'll be a lot of ownership on Yamamoto. Whoever's not playing Yamamoto will just simply play DeGrom. I'm just going to say it, John. Matt Boyd, best pitcher on the slate.
You've been touting lefties versus Cleveland now for a few weeks. I think you bravely pitched Walter and Gordon back-to-back against them a few weeks ago.
Has not let us down.
They were dynamite. Lefties, Cleveland, 24.4% strikeout rate, a 220 average, a 102 ISO, and a 273 WOBA on the year. Not good numbers. Matthew Boyd at home, I guess what we're going to have to do is watch the wind, I guess. That's maybe something to potentially impact us here, but you also have to make contact, as we say, for wind to matter. So and Cleveland has not been doing much of that. Last 30 days, it's even worse for them. 215 average, an 089 ISO, and a 260 weighted on base. So Matthew Boyd looking good, feeling good. Great spot for him as well.
Yeah. I'm just the Guardians are not doing anything to improve their roster when they have multiple options sitting there at the AAA level to do so.
Chase the Lauder hashtag.
I mean, He is one of them for sure. But like they're hitting guys in the top half of their lineup that have no ability this year to hit the ball. So if that's going to continue to be the lineup that they run out there, why wouldn't we just keep picking on them, right? Like even if it doesn't work out, like the numbers just bear out how bad they are. I would attack that 10 out of 10 times. So I'm going right back to the Matt Boyd well, and there's nothing you or anyone can do to stop me, John. Just letting you know.
I'm with you there. I think Yamamoto Boyd was probably the direction that I would go as well, because I'm not sure where you would go after that. Clay Holmes versus Milwaukee, maybe, but Clay Holmes he's been fine. We'll see what the rain looks like, but the Brewers offense has popped at times. I'm not going to pitch Gavin Williams against the Cubs, even we talk about strikeout upside. Singer versus Boston at this point, I don't know if Boston shows up here. Dude, they've been very bad versus righties, and then they scored, top 3 pitching prospect in baseball today, went out and got his doors blown off. So, Singer's been good. I don't know if I don't feel comfortable after what we just saw tonight. I said to you before, you get Boston back in Fenway, and their offense does sometimes take off.
I know, but they just got blanked on Sunday by Eric Lauer.
I know. Well,
in Fenway.
But we've talked about that. I know they have their numbers against lefties are decent, mainly because they have like Ref Snyder and Romy Gonzalez, not like their best hitters, right? Like,
well, are you sure they have 1,000 OP?
They are, yeah. But I'm just saying, like the hitters you expect to be talented on that team are from the left side of the plate. So, righties in theory they should be better against. Wilyer Abreu inside the park home run tonight was like a foot away from just being a regular home run.
I know. And then did what's his name? Did Friedel like break his leg on that? Did you see him like just collapse?
I don't know what happened there. And then you obviously Roman Anthony and Marcelo Mayer have RBI hits tonight. So
and Duran homer.
Yeah, Duran. So like their best hitters are from the left side of the plate. They're just having a time right now. So I don't know. I don't know what to do with Brady Singer here. In theory, we'd look at the last 30-day numbers, and Boston's pretty bad, but I don't know. I don't want AK there. Gallen, no. Shane Smith's been good, but not versus the Dodgers. Birdsong's been bad. Not going to pitch him against Arizona. You have Colton Gordon in Coors.
Yeah.
Like maybe, but there's not like another pitcher. We make fun of our guy Hancock here, but like if Seattle if Kirby goes out and shuts down Kansas City tonight, you might feel a little bit better about Emerson Hancock. I'll even call him by his real name to show him a little respect at 6K.
Yeah, Erndog Jr. might be okay here. I'll still stick with Ernie. I'll take on the role of villain.
But I don't feel good about throwing literally anybody else.
Yeah, this would usually be a spot I'd play Zach Gallen, or I'd be like, but even Zach Gallen gave up home runs to Andrew Benintendi and got lit up by the White Sox. So like when that happens, you're absolute dust. Like you are just
dude. He was trending that way last year.
Yeah, he was.
He's a I don't know, IL to DL DFA candidate. At some point. So Maybe, and I believe this to be true. I saw Didier Fuentes had some good peripherals after his first start. He got absolutely hammered in that second start. To be fair, again, like the Mets are what they are. Against righties, at least, they rank out really well. Against lefties, they don't. They're like one of the worst teams in baseball over the last month against lefties. We don't have to worry about that here because he is not playing the Mets, nor, do the Angels have any lefties? I mean, some of the expected stuff is better, but 3 home runs per 9 innings to your first 2 starts is just not going to cut it. So no, the Angels have a 180 ISO over the last.
Yeah, all they do is hit home runs.
So I mean, they're still like the true 26% strikeout rate, 180 ISO. I mean, they're gonna, he hasn't really flashed any strikeout upside either. He's 20 years old. He wasn't even like the Braves' top prospect. They just were you're ready, I guess.
Yeah, we need active body. Can you are you of service? And he was like, I guess I'm 20, but I guess
I'll go out there and get my major league tenure in and get that paycheck. Sure, sign me up.
I would, if Dolander was missing more bats, I would say him because he's been fine lately, even in a start at home against the Dodgers, because he's $5,000. And we've talked about this a lot. Houston struggles with righties. Like Houston has been way worse against righties. They lost Jeremy Pena to the IL. So I don't know. I'm not gonna go there because he can't miss bats, but I just thought I'd bring that part up.
Like I said, it might be Colton Gordon, 7K.
Might be. And just because
Springs will get Tampa Bay, they'll the lefty matchup there for him. But I don't feel good about that.
No, there's nothing. There's not a lot to like.
It's a bad. Dude, is Boyd the cheapest you go?
I mean, it's not great. You might be right on.
I think, are you on the playbook for this Tuesday? Is that you?
No, I think it's you.
Keith's on. Okay.
All
right. I was gonna say, because you usually do deep dives. I'm like, Grande will deep dive and come out on the 5 o'clock show and be like, this is what I found. We're playing Kevin Gausman tonight. Something like that.
Yeah, I'll do it.
He'll still find
Yeah, we'll do it, but
different on the playbook day.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, I don't know. It's not. There's pitchers we've used. Maybe you give Clay Holmes a more of a look than I gave him.
I'm excited to see like 60% Jeffrey Springs again tomorrow.
Yeah, in Tampa Bay.
A night after it did not work for Jacob Lopez, who couldn't make it out of the 4th inning. So,
yeah. All right. Well, listen, pitching does not look fun. We thought we kind of had an idea on some good pitchers on the Monday slate. Also didn't work out. Rasmussen got pulled after 40 pitches. I did see somebody tweet that they have him on like a hard innings limit this year.
Makes sense. That makes sense.
So that they could just to maybe make him reach the end of the season.
Yep.
He's just going to start throwing like 3 to 5 inning stints.
Yeah.
Which almost eliminates any chance we can ever use him in a game.
Yeah, because we have literally no clue when the 92 versus the 60 or versus the 40. We said that.
Yeah.
We didn't expect 40 in the range of outcome, but we thought 60 was just last start. So
I thought 5 innings was like, all right, he's just gonna go 5, but he wasn't having a great game, but he also got pulled. We need them to be like as transparent as the White Sox were last year. Crochet, they're like, Crochet is not throwing more than 45 pitches. Like,
yeah,
right,
he has 50. He has 50 pitches when Anthony Davis was only playing 20 minutes for the Pelicans.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so that's like your pitching situation here. Again, I think Yamamoto and Boyd are great. Obviously, DeGrom is as well. So we'll maybe get some more clarity. Who knows what happens at 5 o'clock? Excuse me, catcher position. I mean, I would play Goodman if he's in the lineup versus Gordon. I mean, he's really good. $5,100. Cal Raleigh at $6,200 against Lorenzen's fine there as well. Houston with a little bit of a price bump. Yanyer hasn't been great. Where's Cartini at 37 might be the play.
He'll be really popular.
Yeah.
He'll be really popular at that price.
Yeah, Cartini would probably be the guy. Sally's 36.
Sean Murphy, home runs in back-to-back games.
Big home runs.
Yeah, monster mammoth home runs.
Yeah. I would do a hobby too versus Fuentes. I mean, like that kid showed nothing. So
agreed. Both of them. Yep.
Danny Jansen versus a lefty in Springs is 33.
Yep. Where's Langoliers homered? You know what? Langoliers came back, homered in his first at bat. He has $3,500, and we've talked about. I know Boz shoved against
Kansas City.
It's a good spot for righties. Boz has been bad against righties. Langoliers 3,500 is about like $500, $600, $700 less than he typically is, and that is just because he's injured. I mean,
yeah,
if he's in the lineup. I'd love that spot.
Sure. I'm with you there. I think it's a good spot there for Langoliers. And listen, we saw Taj Bradley pitch well against Kansas City and then get shoved in by Baltimore. So I'm not really going to put those Kansas City starts on any sense of like, hey, maybe they're figuring it out. Nah, that's just Kansas City. They're just bad here. I'm not going to, it won't be a teal day with Yamamoto at 29. Reese versus Gavin at 27, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, dude, he hits home runs. So
Patrick Bailey versus Gallen, him at 25.
yep, Patrick Bailey's been, and we've said it a couple times. Dude, if you get some of these games from Patrick Bailey lately, I mean,
Yeah.
9, 16, 5, 5, 6,
At
you'd be,
$2,500, yeah,
yeah,
it's a win.
it's good. It's a win.
And then for me, it's $2,300 if he's in the line. But I don't. He's a guy I don't mind just punting with. So
Forever.
yep. First base position. Otani versus Shane Smith at $6,500 up there. Freeman as well at $5K. Bush is 47. Yandy 45. Yandy was the highest price or highest rostered first baseman on the Monday slate. Obviously, more competition for that here, but where do those guys rank out for you?
Yeah, Dodgers, of course. Probably you could play Freddie Homer, maybe breaking out of whatever slump he was in. Olsen, I'm not afraid of. Tyler Anderson's been bad against both splits, so I'd play either, or I'd play any Brave. I think that's in existence. I like the Yandy call. Aranda.
Got an RBI tonight.
Yeah, I mean, just hits. Nick Kurtz is very live to homer in this series, like multiple times.
For sure.
4,200. I'll be interested to see what the Christian Walker ownership comes in at, because like I almost feel better about Kurtz at 42 than I do Walker at 41, because like Christian Walker has been really bad, and I could just play Nick Kurtz for 100 more in a.
It's a comparable ballpark, right?
Better, well, in terms of size, it's better, right?
Yeah.
Because
I meant more so like an offensive output this year, right?
Like yes, offensive output, it's better. Like obviously the Colorado allure is like the gaps, and like you hit one, it just goes and goes and goes forever and all that, and like obviously that's great and stuff, but Nick Kurtz we just saw what he did in Yankee Stadium with a pop-up to right field. It went out. And now he gets to play in a 90-degree weather Yankee Stadium in Florida. So it'll be interesting to see like the Kurtz versus Walker ownership discrepancy. And for that matter, Pasquantino, Sean Well, like all those guys are in pretty great spots.
I was just going to say, listen, absolutely understanding it's a small sample size for Didier Fuentes. Lefties have a 730 slugging percentage and a 464 WOBA, with a 43% hard hit rate off of him. Righties only have a 23% hard hit rate. So like they're really, righties are doing, not hitting him nearly as hard. Lefties are just hammering him. And I know that's not Shane Newell's game, a hard hit baseball, but he's been better of late. We've seen him hit a few home runs. So
yes.
I'm with you. I mean, I think Kurtz would be the guy I'd rather go with of that grouping.
Agreed.
But I would, if you built the lineup and any four of them were in there, I would be, that makes sense given the spot they're in. So.
Yeah, I agree on that as well. I was just saying, like, I feel that's like a pretty good stretch because Hancock is bad against lefties. Like that's been his bugaboo this year.
I just wish they were all like $300 cheaper.
Yeah, I think the Nick Kurtz days of 3K are way gone.
Oh yeah.
Those are
we enjoyed those. He's on his way to like a 25 home run season, probably.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, but maybe 30. Yeah, maybe 30.
Tolly is 35. Steers 35. Again, I mean, listen, Richard Fitz looked good early in the season. I have no real confidence in him at this point. So, Cincinnati certainly allowed to put up some runs.
So excited to see Abraham Toro with 30% rostership tomorrow.
And he paid it off today. So.
I know. No, I know. But like,
I
mean, dude, 10-game slate. I'm just
Delonte Wade will probably be in the lineup here against.
Yep, he probably will.
So.
Yep.
All right. Second base. Cattell, Altuve, Lau. They're all fine plays. How many people play Altuve? Remember we had that stretch where every night Altuve was like the highest rostered second baseman. Does that continue?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was in the Sacramento.
Sacramento. Yeah. I mean, Dubon's is going to be in a lot of lineups at 39, probably.
Dubon at 39. Holy cow.
I know. Him, Estrada.
Yikes.
Same sort of matchup there. Albies versus lefty if it ever comes through at 35.
It won't.
Well, not Andy Anderson as well. Anderson's probably the dark horse here to go throw a shutout. I'm not even giving him a look.
Yeah. I mean, as much as anyone else there is.
He seemingly does it more often than we don't think he is going to. So, let's see.
Marcelo Meyer.
Yeah, Meyer, 29. Yeah, that's a good one. Hamilton stole a bag, got a hit tonight. If he's in the lineup, he's always live to do that.
Our boy Christian Koss led off. I don't know if you saw that. He led off on Monday. 2,600 against Gallon. If Christian Koss is leading off again, we're probably playing him at 2,600.
Yeah, you're probably gonna have to give him a look, right?
Yeah, Curtis Mead will start against a lefty too.
Yep. Third base position. We like Boyd, but Ramirez is always live. Devers is definitely live here against Gallon in Arizona.
Yes.
Same thing with Suarez. Obviously, Caminero did homer today.
Did.
Have that at 49. Paredes versus righty in cores at 48.
All of them.
All of them. Yeah. They're very
Muncy.
different.
Muncy 46. Probably homers. Austin Riley could homer.
Anderson, yeah. Not a ton of value. I mean, Gavin Lux is 32.
The Red Sox are there again. Koss is there.
Yeah, Renhefos 3K.
Yeah, they're gonna well, Nato, I saw Nato pinch hit, so I'm assuming he'll be back for this one. Yeah, he pinch hit, I think, the other day. He had 2 at bats. So I'm assuming he's pinch hit actually in 3 straight games, which is kind of
so not good enough to play, good enough to pinch hit.
And he stole a base, or he tried to steal a base, caught stealing. So I'd assume that means he's good to go, right? Like, because you get a day off.
I mean, Casey Schmidt was in a lineup and scratched 3 days in a row.
3 days in a row, and now he's going on the IL. I don't know if you saw that. He's literally going to be. So, like, you're not wrong. It's just very.
It's true. But cost of 26 makes a lot of sense, obviously, as you said. Short, loaded position here. I definitely like Ellie at 59.
Yes.
Against Fitz, that feels like a really great spot. Bobby Witt, obviously, against Hancock at 54. Jacob Wilson's 5K. All of those guys are fine. What's your preference in the 4K tier?
Seager, 4K. Jared, what's his name? Jacob Young, the pitcher for Brandon. Sorry, Brandon Young. He has not looked great.
A lot of walks.
Obviously, he just got called back up. But there was obviously a long gap in between starts for a reason. So I would say just default to Seager. Would be the guy. Caballero will be in the lineup.
Homers in 3 straight games for him too. So like
Josh Smith. We didn't mention Josh Smith at first, but first short 4,300. He fits best in a Texas stack because you're not playing him over Seager with the way Seager's going right now.
Yeah.
But I think Seager looks pretty good.
Story at 38. He homered off Burns tonight, dead center field. So
Story, Adames, Crawford. Play them all. Ritter gets Ritter's been better of late.
Yeah, anytime they're home, you give them a look. So
that's it.
If Nick Allen's in the lineup and you really just want to punt, but this is not a position you should go down that far with.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Outfield, Ohtani, Acuna versus lefty, and Tucker are up over $6,000. Again, you can pretty much play Ohtani down to Rooker.
Ohtani down to Rooker. Play them all.
Yeah. I don't think I'm going to do won't do Lover Springs.
He probably won't even be in the lineup.
Yeah. Troy over Holmes is fine. Butler versus Boz for sure. Trout's good, obviously. Where's like the next guy you wouldn't play? I mean,
yeah, it's sick. I was just thinking the same thing.
Myers at 44 against Dollander. If he's sitting in the top of the lineup again,
Cody Bellinger just hit a home run against a lefty. I just want to
Well, you do say that he does that.
That's all he does.
All he does is homer off lefties. Yeah, Jake Myers is 44, Williard's 43, Friedel's 43.
Maybe like Haggerty. Is that the first person we wouldn't play?
Yeah, it feels that way.
I'm not trying to like cop out. Stephen Kwan, you like wouldn't play probably in that spot.
Versus Boyd, right? Habit 42 is really good. Probably don't play Frelick, dude. 4,200 Cam Smith, lock that into lineups.
Especially if he's hitting righties.
Yeah, dude, for sure. You won't play Kaiser versus DeGrom. You won't do Moniak versus a lefty.
Jung Hoo hasn't hit in a month.
Yeah, but Gallon could be the cure-all for that.
It's fair. It's fair. Marcell Ozuna, $4,000. The Braves are. I see it now. I see the writing on the walls. The Braves are popular.
Yeah, Ozuna 4K, Anthony 39, Adele 39, all of them.
What over under 34.5 home runs for Joe Adele this year?
I'm gonna go under because I think he's gonna go on like an 0 for 40 slump at some point, but like
over under 29.5.
I think he hits 30.
Okay.
I think he can get there. He needs 10 more, 12 more. I think
Dude, that's a lot. Joe Adele has 18 home runs.
I know. Always a good player.
Always a good player. Yeah, totally.
Good prospect. Cedar Rafael is really good. 36.
Luke Raley and Canzoni, both value options.
Okay. Alec Thomas is 31. Birdsong hasn't been anything special. Cags 3K. Cags 3K with Hancock.
Cags 3K. Maybe we broke him out of his slump. Well, hopefully we can report back in the live stream.
Yeah, Drew Waters 29. Jake McCarthy's 28 versus Birdsong.
Jake McCarthy, yeah.
I don't mind that. They hit him, 5th the other day?
They hit him right in the middle of the order, yeah.
I don't hate that. Let's see. That may be it.
Could be it, yeah.
All right. So if we go with the Yamamoto Boyd, it's 37.75.
Costs, you got to play costs in this lineup. Probably at second, right? And then honestly, if you want to just like do the Patrick Bailey, we could just literally now we have the end and the top of their lineup combination, probably, right?
Sure. 41.83. We just talked about like this whole zone. Ozuna's 4K, Roman Anthony's 39. I mean, what's our primary stack here?
I mean, there's a lot of really good answers. Obviously, Coors, Cam Smith, 42.
Were we sold on any third baseman? Like, would you just punt? I mean, I guess Paredes, right?
Or you could put Cost there. Yeah, Paredes. Yeah, Paredes is good.
It's 4K. I felt like
Cam Smith.
Yeah, Kansas 42. Do we just play Cags and just get it over with here? I typed in 42, not Cam Smith.
42 is not Cam Smith's name now.
It's 4K. I mean, that could be Ozuna. We like Kurtz.
Yeah, and then we'll leave it there with Kurtzy.
Okay, we don't really have any. We have Paredes and Cam Smith, so we'll give you about 4K to get some lineup correlation in there for you guys. Of course, we'll have the full lineup in the Discord for y'all. And then we'll be back live at 5 p.m. to do it all over again with the latest news, updates, lineups, and weather to get you guys ready for this Tuesday 10 gamer. We appreciate you tuning in. We'll catch you later.